To begin my speech, first of all, I'd like to pay my greatest respect to Mr. Principal, Honorable Adjudicator, teachers, my fellow debaters, and hello everyone who are present here. Welcome to our debate competition. Here we are, an opposition team stands strongly against the motion. This has believed that teacher performance should be evaluated by student result. Before I start with our first main argument, first let me split my team and introduce about their role in today's debate. My name is Yong-hee. I'm the first speaker. I'm responsible for the first main argument. Secondly, Sok Liang. He is our second speaker. I'm responsible for the second main argument. Last but not least, Kiu-ee. Our last speaker. I'm responsible for the last main argument. It is a fact that students come to school to get knowledge from teacher. But is it always true that teacher performance should be evaluated by student result? Before answering this question, first let me show out some flaw from the first speaker from the proposition side first. Our opponent has mentioned that in medicine, a doctor effectiveness measure the effectiveness by the health of their patient. In business, a manager evaluates based on a team performance. So why should be learning is any different? That is a good point. But our team strongly against with this point because teaching is different and students are not patient or employees. Students have personal responsibility, diverse learning style, and outside influence beyond on teacher control. So it is possible that teacher performance can be evaluated by student result. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, without any hesitation, now let's start with our first main argument. Our first main argument focuses on external factors play a strong role in student performance. Do you guys know that it is not true that teacher performance can be evaluated by student result? What if they fail? Do you guys blame it on teacher? If you sing like this, please just sing it. I'll explain you why our team still strongly against this motion. Student performance is not only defined by individual effort, intelligence, or teacher performance. External factors, including family and society, really play a strong role in student performance. Supportive parents who provide guidance, encouragement, and learning resources give students a strong foundation for success. But if students who come from a stressful and limited resources probably face a challenging that can block them from academic progress. And about the society, if some people in the society didn't encourage you, but instead they use a bad word like, oh, don't do this, I know you can't do it. Oh, don't do that, I know you can't be success. Do you guys think it is a good society? And how can the society lead a good student performance? The answer is no. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget about that. Teacher performance does teach us a lot, but one-side training will never work. Students who are striving for knowledge probably have a self-study schedule, so that is why they can do well on exam. For instance, a student who didn't study hard or pay attention, the result come, they fail. Do you guys think it is a teacher fault or is it a student fault? So, by some point, we can surely know that teacher performance cannot be evaluated by student result. From the beginning until the end, I from the opposition team stand strongly against this motion. Before I end my speech, I'd like to share one quote from Mr. Peter Green. He mentioned that the tests are not measuring how much students can learn. They are predominantly measuring the family and the community capital of the student. That is all. Thank you.
It's a very good evening for ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, worthy opponents, and respected audience. Welcome back to the opposition team. My name is Sok Liang. I am the second speaker. Before presenting my point, I would like to rebut the claims from my second opponent. She asked, what is the purpose of teaching if not to ensure students are learning and progressing? But learning is much broader than test results. Curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking cannot be measured on papers. She says, clear patterns emerge when one teacher students improve more than others. Yet those patterns often reflect inequality, not teaching skills. Privileged students with tutors and resources always appear to progress faster, unfairly punishing teachers in disadvantaged schools. She claims growth metrics fairly acknowledge teachers who help disadvantaged students, but in reality, these metrics still reduce complex learning into numbers, which ignore the struggles students face outside class. Finally, she says, data give us direction, but bad data give us the wrong direction. Over-reliance on score alone pressure teachers to teach to the test, damaging creativity and true education. Now, after all of that, let's get right into my point. Student results are affected by external factors beyond teacher control. It is unfair to judge teacher performance solely on students' academic results because many external factors strongly influence how well students perform. For example, a student home environment, parental support, financial situations, mental health, and even their personal motivations all play a huge role in determining outcome. A teacher may be highly skilled, dedicated, and effective, but if students are dealing with poverty, lack of resource, and family issues, the result may still be poor. Conversely, a teacher may seem successful simply because they are teaching privileged students who already have access to tutoring. Moreover, student results are not reliable or fair measurement of a teacher's true ability. Once a time, Albert Einstein said that it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and in knowledge. He means that the true value of a teacher is not evaluated by a student's exam score or result, but the ability to inspire students. A great teacher makes learning exciting, not just something to memorize. It sparks curiosity, creativity, and love for knowledge, which lasts longer than test results. The supreme art suggests that teaching is more than a job. It's a form of art where success is about touching minds and hearts, not just numbers on the papers. Instead, teacher evaluation should include multiple measurements, such as classroom observation, peer reviews, and feedback from students about teaching style, not just exam score. In the end, I strongly oppose the motion. This house believes that teacher performance should be evaluated by students' test result. Thank you for your listening.
Good afternoon, teachers, judges, and all beloved contestants. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the third speaker from the opposition side, and we still strongly oppose to the motion. Teachers' performance should be evaluated by student results. By the way, before I present my last main argument, I just want to rejudge some of the idea of the first, the second, and the third speaker from the proposition side. The first speaker, she mentioned that teachers is the single most important factors. Claiming teachers is the single most important factors, ignore reality, family support, socio-economic, and mental health often have a bigger impact on student results than any teachers can control. And the second speaker, she said that teachers who work with disadvantaged students but still manage to have them grow. That's a really good point. But does teacher really can have all of disadvantaged students? Imagine 20 disadvantaged students and one teacher. How can teacher manage and control all of disadvantaged students? And the last speaker, she said that data-driven educational improvement. Calling it data-driven sounds powerful, but in reality, the data often misrepresents teacher quality because it doesn't account many outside factors like poverty, family support, or school resources. So instead of driving improvement, it can actually drive unfair judgments. So now let's get into my last main argument. Let's talk about discourages collaboration and race talking. If teachers' performance is judged only by student results, it will discourage teachers from working together and from trying new teaching methods. When teachers feel that their success depends on their student test score, they start seeing each other as competitors instead of teammates. This creates a selfish environment where teachers are less likely to share resources, ideas, or strategies. On top of that, teachers will avoid experiencing with creative approaches like group project or interactive lessons because they feel that if the results don't immediately show on the exams, their performance will look weak. As a result, teacher play itself, strict to test drill, and avoid innovation. In the long run, students lose a chance to experience a richer, more engaging lessons. This is why evaluated teachers only by student results discourages collaboration and risk talking, which are essential for real learning. Moreover, according to Linda Darling-Hammond, a education researcher at Stanford University, she said, what is tested is what is taught, and when tested a main teacher, educational creativity, and the collaboration are the first victim. So, from the beginning until the end, we still strongly oppose to the motion. This have belief that teachers' performance should be evaluated by student results. That's all. Thank you.
Once again, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to our opposition team. At the end of our debate, we must ask ourselves, is it truly fair or accurate to measure the worth of teacher by just their student result? The answer is no. Student results are shown by many external factors, including personal motivation, family background, society environment, and learning disability. So it is not true that teacher performance should be evaluated by student result. Therefore, for the sake of accuracy, fairness, and the future of education, we opposition team stand strongly against this motion. Good teaching should be recognized through extra classroom, professional growth, creativity in method, and the ability to inspire students. From the beginning until the end, our team still strongly against this motion. Before I end my speech as an opposition side today, I have one quote to share you guys. from Mrs. Randy Vigarden. She mentioned that using a test score to measure the teacher's effectiveness is foster a tendency to focus not on learning but on improving the test score. From the beginning until the end, we opposition teams still strongly against the motion. This house believes that teacher performance should be evaluated by student result. That is all. Thank you guys for your listening and pay attention.